carbs are not the enemy. So many people and so many of us think that carbs are so bad for us. They make us gain weight, add to those love handles, add to the tubby on our bodies, and it is so not true. What's up, guys? My name is Paige Johnson, and I specialize in the 80-20 diet, and I am going to debunk all of the myths about carbs for you guys right now and explain why we need carbs, the function for them, and how to not be tricked up by the wrong carbs. So, why does our body need carbs? What are they important for? When we produce energy, this is where carbs play a key role. So for brain function, we need carbs because they break down as glucose in our body. So that glucose gets sent to our brain in order for our brain to function properly. Another good reason why we need carbs is because the bacteria that's stored, or the good bacteria that's stored in our gut, helps us absorb certain vitamins. So carbs help play off and help produce that good bacteria that is in our intestinal tract wall, things of that nature. And basically, like how I said, I know it's good energy for your brain. Carbs are good energy for your brain, but usually, I don't know if you've ever heard of or have ever seen, people will load up on carbs before a marathon. People will load up on good carbs before maybe a heavy lift day. Things just kind of that nature because they know it's going to fuel them and it's going to help them have an elongated, term with carbs, okay? So it's going to help them continue to go and have energy throughout that long period of a workout or a strenuous workout. Now, this is where it gets tricky, is because there are good carbs and then there are bad carbs, and that is where carbs are the enemy. Culturally, our system, our country, we work where a lot of stuff is processed, a lot of stuff has chemicals and preservatives in it, which is where the bad carbs are going to come in. So if you've ever seen and walked down a pasta aisle, you will see Barilla, you will see Kraft mac and cheese, you will see all of these things. Now, this is where the bad carbs come into play. Heavy pastas that have bleached flours in them, that have preservatives to make sure that their shelf life stays fresh and longer. I shouldn't use fresh, but you get what I'm saying. It's so it has a fresh taste. That's where the preservative comes in. Now, we want to stay away from things like this because the more chemicals that are in something and the more refined something is, the longer it's going to stick with our body, and we're not going to be able to process and break that down. That is where weight gain comes in. You have breads, right? Breads that have bleached flour, again, preservatives in them so they don't mold as fast. Desserts, that's where I'm a little guilty. You're going to get all of these breads, these flours, things like that just are going to stick to your body, and they're not going to be able to be broken down. And when they do, they still will be broken down as glucose, okay? But the rest of the fat content and the chemicals are going to stay in our system, and our system is going to have to work 10 times harder to figure out what to do with those chemicals. So we're just wreaking havoc on that digestive system when we put those refined carbs, all of that good stuff in there, okay? That's where you see people with a lot of gluten intolerances. This is where that kind of kicks in as well. So, lucky for you guys, I have two of my favorite carbs that I actually like to eat, and that is quinoa. That's my number one. Some people are not a fan of the texture of quinoa, which I totally get, so no worries with that. And then another one that I have, I'm kind of switching it up a little bit. I don't do this one this much, but it's a wild rice option that I got from Whole Foods, which I'm pretty sure you could probably find in any grocery store. Now, the key to these two carbs, and I'm just going to use these as an example, is they all are made with, if I go to the ingredient list, and I can even show you guys, let me flip my camera around. If I go to the ingredients, just let me see here real fast. If you guys can see that, it's going to be blurry. Okay, so you see how it says organic whole grain riced quinoa. It's going blurry. Sorry. So that one says that, and then if you go to this ingredient list, oh, it's so blurry. Organic brown basmati rice, okay, and organic wild rice. Those are what the two ingredient lists say. So with these products, okay, and another thing to keep in mind is your serving size. your body is going to understand how to read these and how to break these down. Again, think of your body like a computer. It's going to understand what you're putting into it, and then it's going to use it. When we put chemicals into our body, it crashes the system. So it's working in overdrive in order to understand how to break that down. When you put something in there that it knows what to do with, it's going to break it down, okay? And it's going to be able to be used in a great, healthy way for your body to function. So to help with that good bacteria in your gut, to help with the brain, with your brain energy, to help function with your body energy for working out, for going on runs, for lifting weights, whatever it is that you do. And this is where these good carbs are going to come in. Just to list off another few good carbs, we have old-fashioned oats. We have steel cut oats. We have, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Ezekiel muffins. Those have great grains, which are good carbs for your body to break down. And don't forget fruits and vegetables. I mean, the old school carbs that we can get. All fruits and vegetables have carbs in them, all different levels obviously, but they all have good carbs in them. So we want to stick with wholesome ingredients that we know. I always tell people organic is better, but we want to stick with good ingredients that our body can break down and understand, so that way you maintain a healthy internal inside and you're not reeking of like ugh on the outside. You don't have a lot of fat on your body. You're not going to have like cellulite. You're not going to have things type of that nature. So really focusing on making sure that we eat those good carbs, getting them into our body, and understanding carbs are not the enemy. Okay.